Hello everyone, this is Lucas, and today over in the Westmount area I found legit salvage, this old Marin Bear Valley SE, and it has these pretty cool looking afterburner V-type brakes, which I've never seen on any other type of bike. General condition of the bicycle is not good. Didn't have any tires. I've put 2 tires on it. I'm subbing out a 28.7 700 here for the front for right now, so I won't have the V-type brakes hooked up there until I find a new rim for it, but I do have a 26-inch rear hub that'll work for the V-types on the back. There's a lot of things wrong with it when I first started. Derailleur is detached. I just finished detaching it, or reattaching it. Luckily all the parts were still there, so it wasn't really much of an issue. All the bolts on this thing are mostly metric. Let me see that right next to my pipe are metric Allen keys. I also swapped out the pedals. One pedal was completely crushed on that one side, but luckily the crank is still still straight. I do straighten cranks occasionally with a really large pipe wrench, but for today I just swapped it out because it's easier, and I don't trust these. These are really good pedals. They sell them at Canadian Tire and Sports Check and all this other kind of stuff, but when they go, they go. I mean, this one's crushed, and I'm not going to bother salvaging it when I got some older plastic pedals that are just as good. I keep any pedals that are good off of anything, so you never know. Brakes, gears, don't know yet. I've had to remove the front gear shifter, which is over there. Leaving the rear gear shifter on now, and that's because the chain is seized. And I'm going to show you 2 tricks today in order to fix 2 things that I ran into problems on this bike. Now, the number one is the seized chain. So what I do with seized chains is I just take some WD-40 and pliers, and as you can see here, I got this part unseized. And I unseize a small length of it just by wiggling them back and forth with pliers and WD-40. And I use jersey gloves right there to sop up the WD-40 while it's on my hands, and it also helps wipe away the rust. So what I'm doing is I'm getting a part of the chain that is loosened off just around right here, and then the rest of it, as you can see, it's nice and stiff. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting it into a bucket and dumping a 2-liter of Coca-Cola on it. I'm letting it sit overnight, and what that'll do is it'll eat off all the rust off the chain, and it'll make it easier for me to well, I won't have to do anything. I won't have to sit here and wiggle links back and forth. You can do that if you want to wiggle links back and forth for hours in order to get it done, but you know, I'm kind of old and I've done this a few times, and I know, just, you know, go buy a 2-liter Coke. It's only $1, right? Well, I mean, you don't even need regular Coke. You can just use generic Coca-Cola or generic cola brand or whatever, but it's only $1. The second thing I ran into is with these. This is an aluminum crank, and when I was backing out the pedals, I guess it must have happened when they put on these new pedals, because these are not stock pedals for this bicycle. When I took off the old pedals that whoever put on, what had happened is they stripped the threads on the inside of the pedal. And one thing that I've learned on the aluminum cranks is that it's very common for that to happen. Even when you take off pedals, that the beginning threads of these aluminum cranks, that they strip. And the quickest way, or the threads just fall right out in some cases. So the best way, and it's only the first few, the best way I found over the years in order to fix the issue is just to simply use the end of a razor blade, and very carefully, because aluminum is very you know, it's not a very tough metal, is to use a nice razor blade and just very carefully carve out those first few threads if they're damaged, and then usually you can get your pedal to thread in. So, and that's what I had to do over on this side here. I had to carve out the first just a few threads in order to get the pedal in there to get started on proper threads, so it wouldn't cross thread as I put in the new pedals. Another little hint for pedals: use a pedal wrench. Don't try using like pipe wrenches or crescent wrenches or anything like that. You're just bugger up the pedals, mess up the plastic, pull the pedal away from the bearing, and just in general you screw up the pedal. I've seen a lot of people do this and their pedals don't last long. I don't really care, because I just salvage so many of them. If a pedal breaks, I have a pedal wrench, I pull it off, and that's it. So yeah, this is the first part to our build, so I'm going to be soaking this in Coca-Cola overnight. I had to fix this bike here because 2 nights ago someone stole my bicycle. This is the second bicycle I've had stolen this year out of my my son's house's backyard. And yeah, it's really pathetic that, you know, you have all these people running around stealing bicycles during this COVID-19 stuff, and you have all these cops running around issuing everybody parking violations and photo radar tickets and all this kind of stuff when there's thieves just stealing right out of people's backyards. There's not really much going on about it. I mean, yeah, people are broke. What are you going to do, I guess? But yeah, it was a really nice bike I had before. I put a lot of effort into it. A friend of mine had custom painted it. I'm going to be putting the photo up on Kijiji in case anybody's seen it, but highly unlikely I'll ever get it back again or see it again. So in the meantime, I'm going to have to ride this. So if you like these videos, give us this thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll definitely be back with some more.